Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, wrestling fans, and sports entertainment fans, welcome to the No Shave Man Cave. I'm Ellie Jair.
And I am the one, the only, Jay Tilly. You like that, huh?
The one. He's part of the ones.
Got my little laser
Deuces,
lights going.
deuces. Dude, that was popping. Hey, listen, Jay Tilly, great to see you. All the work you're doing behind the scenes. I know Tony isn't here today. I hope you're feeling better, brother. He had a procedure done. He's part of the No Shave Man Cave family. To everybody who's joining us here today, welcome. And we are here to rap about Wednesday night Dynamite, which was awesome, by the way. I love title matches and I love title changes. And man, this show had a little bit of everything. And dude, whenever I watch AEW, I try and shut off my WWE brain and go, what's Jay Tilly thinking? Dude, what did you think about the crowd? What did you think about, like, just in general? How did you feel, man? Like, what was going on?
I thought it was a pretty good show. I liked a lot of it. I had some complaints about the main event, which we can get into in a little bit. I absolutely was kind of on this roller coaster of emotions throughout the show because it started off with the Dustin Rhodes Christian match, and here I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, all right, two older dudes, like I'm not really going to get into this match, like it'll be like kind of fluff to start the show, and I was wrong. And they put on a show. I really enjoyed that match. Every time I see Dustin Rhodes doing a Canadian Destroyer, I giggle because it's like, how do you do this? Because I remember the first one he did.
Yeah, my man is 50 years old. He's 6'6". He's a grandpa. Congratulations to Dustin, the unnatural. I think I have one of his unnatural 9-line shirts, but he's a grandpa. Kudos to you, brother. But yeah, when I see that big dude whipping around,
yeah, really good match on that. And then the Jay Briscoe thing, man, or Jay and Mark Briscoe thing. Somebody was cutting onions in my bedroom because I got a little emotional. He came out, and for those of you that didn't see it or don't know even, Wednesday was a year to the day that Jay Briscoe was unfortunately, left us way too early. And they did a little tribute video to him. But before the tribute video, Mark comes out and says, he's always with us. And then he brings out his nieces, who one of them was told they will never walk again. And here it is a year later, he walked out on the stage. And I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. It was really powerful. And I think that's a big thing with wrestling. Like, to me, wrestling should be emotional. And I think that was some pretty raw emotions right there. And it was super neat. Really enjoyed that. And, then the video package they put together was probably one of the better video packages I've seen AEW do in a while. It was, that tribute and everything. And it was really cool. And then I think go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Do you think, because we saw Kevin Owens.
Yep.
We saw, I think there was a clip of Tyler Black, Seth Rollins, and there was another WWE superstar in there.
I think AJ Styles.
AJ Styles, there we go. So do you think AEW has to reach out to WWE and go, hey, we're going to do a video package. We've got 12 seconds of some of your superstars. Or is it just like Tony owns the library. So
that's what it is right there. Yeah. I think because he owns the library, he could use that footage. Because they were technically licensed to Ring of Honor at that time, or so.
That's so cool.
That's like if you go on Ring of Honor's streaming service, you can watch all the old Kevin Steen El Generico matches, which is Sami Zayn. You can watch AJ Styles. You can watch, Cody and Kevin's. Like, you can watch those guys come up, and just like if you were to buy PW, not that I want to start any rumors that he's going to, but if you were to buy PWG, you would get all that footage too and be able to see that. So
Yeah.
I think it's just one of those things. He's got the footage, so he can use it, and why not use it? Those guys were
Yeah.
a big part of Ring of Honor, and the
Huge part.
Briscoes
Yeah.
were a huge part of Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
You know,
Man.
and just it was just a really good package overall, and I really enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
I think they'll always be part of Ring of Honor in spirit. And if there was like a Ring of Honor building, kind of like Titan Towers that WWE used to have, I don't know what their new building is called, but even more importantly, Ring of Honor, the tag team titles have the image of the Briscoes on
Mm-hmm.
the tag team titles. So very deserving. Congratulations to, you know, the family. Oh, why are you saying congratulations? You know, whatever. Loss is hard, and having enough faith in whatever or whoever, you pray to, but to have enough faith and strength, to be able to tell that tale the way they did, and, the daughters and the nephew. Actually, I think that was um, his son.
His
I
son,
think that
yeah.
was Mark's son, yeah, or Jay's son. I'm sorry.
I think,
So,
yeah, I'm not sure.
yeah, but kudos to them. Their faith has gotten them through, and great package. Kudos to AEW, Ring of Honor, and Tony Khan and the entire production team. That was great. The start of the show was hitting. The crowd was really good. And, recently we were at the homecoming show in Jax, and, we were fortunate to have fantastic seats. And thanks to Captain Dean and Carly and the entire AEW crew, just like great show, great atmosphere. Cold as all get up, but that wasn't your fault. And dude, you got to see Vikingo.
Vikingo,
And
yep.
bro, Vikingo, hit me up, dude. I need some of your gear. And I have a special little surprise if I could get my guy Jake to hit me up. I may or may not have a custom No Shave Man Cave. I love this hat available for him. So if he wants to come on, I will give him what I refer to. I'm Ellie Jair. My sister has always been Shanny Bell, which was her nickname as a kid. She has sewed a custom bucket hat with the No Shave Man Cave logo
That's
on
awesome.
it. Purple and all, brother. So
That's
let's
awesome.
go. But
Yep.
great show. Great match right off the jump. I love that TNT title. And, you hear, oh, you shouldn't customize titles. You should, whatever. And I like that black. I like that gold. I like that silver. The pop of the TNT. Great match. And you had some shenanigans in there, which you're going to get with AEW and the patriarchy. And yeah, man, good match to start. And like you said, seeing Briscoe come out and reach for the sky, boy. So cool.
Yep. Then we also had some really good, I thought, promos from Hangman and Swerve. Basically, their story's not done with each other, so that was pretty cool. But then I wanted to ask your opinion on the Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. We got to call them by their God-given names. I was curious what you thought on that, seeing how, because I've been a Bucks fan for a while, and I dug it. But I'm curious what you thought, kind of getting introduced to them, coming into the AEW and all that. So
let's roll it back. So over the last couple of months, you've sort of seen, well, actually probably over the last year or so, you've seen this sort of evolution of their character. And, they did, to me anyway, as a WWE brain, I don't want to say NWA, WCW brain, but definitely WWE brain, because WWE wouldn't have a wrestler superstar that is on the active roster in a position of authority more so than like AAA and Undertaker in the locker room.
Right.
And the way AEW has done it, you've got the EVPs, Omega, the Jack, loosely, arguably Danielson, doing some of the booking, most of the booking, a lot of the booking for Collision. But sitting there, that character work, dude, and to go back and read some of the articles on how they're talking about the evolution of AEW, the evolution of the Young Bucks, and how they did this whole article, and at the end they said, we did this all without stepping foot in a WWE ring.
Yep.
And you're like, ooh. How many wrestlers can you say have made an impact the way the Young Bucks have, and not include and WWE, WWF tag team champions, NXT tag team champions? I'll wait. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm a huge Uncle Bully, Bully Ray, Bully fan. But he wouldn't be what he is without the connection with WWE. And I think he's one of the greatest WWE, minds. Now the Virtuosa, who's in AEW, she wouldn't be as driven without her experience in the WWE. Even, you look at Matt Cardona and his sidekick, they wouldn't be where they are without the experience in the WWE. So I was just blown away. And at the end, when he was like, look at this. All right, honey, I gotta go. You're like, oh, okay. So right there, I was like, okay. So the story is going to go, they're going to have a match with Sting and Darby. I'd like to see Sting leave as a champion or be a champion in AEW as part of his lineage. But I don't know that he wants to just be like handed a title. But he said it. He'd like to be a champion. But back to your original question, what did I think about it? Dude, that was awesome. The character work, I felt like it came full circle. And that promo, and Renee, whatever she's getting paid, she needs like a 50%
She's fantastic
raise,
in that.
dude.
She
and
was
just
so
like
good. Yeah, the roll in her
the
eyes
facial.
and the crazy thing about AEW though is like that interview alone could totally lead into a program with Moxley and Danielson down the road. Like, you mistreated my wife. Like, what's up with that? Like, they laid those ground things, and the way AEW works is it may be a year down the road, but like Moxley's not going to remember how you treated his wife. But what did you think of the veiled references, or not really that veiled, about we relied on guys coming in and leaned on the toxicity.
Dude,
what? Like,
when he
we're not
dropped
saying
the
that's
word
Sting, but
superstar,
yep.
when he dropped the word superstar, I was like, and that's like, computers and, Twitter wizards and kids and adults, mostly adults living in their grandma's
Yep.
basement. Like, oh, I can't believe that's so vile. But dude, that was popping. Which then leads me to think something that we had talked about before. So TNA signed a deal for distribution with Endeavor. WWE and Endeavor have created a new conglomerate called TKO. And if WWE is in cahoots with All Japan,
Mm-hmm.
and TNA is going to be in cahoots with New Japan, and loosely previously with AEW, which I think the relationship with AEW and Impact at the time was BS because it was all AEW getting the rub
Right.
and just Impact at the time. But TNA is ready to launch. They've got their champions in place. They've got a great future. But I am like, just when he dropped the word superstar, I was thinking in my head, toxic. I was like, dude, if you say anything WWE ish, the
Well,
Twitterverse is going to
yep.
explode. So to our fans, thank you again. Almost 500,000 downloads. We're chasing. Obviously we want to hit 1 million on YouTube. We've only been pushing YouTube a couple of months now, and we're about to hit 1,000. But to see everything going on, and I've been jumping around on Blue Sky now because we finally got the invite. We finally got accepted into Blue Sky, and there's been a little bit of talk, and I started stirring it. I was like, "What does everybody think? What does everybody think?" So I am psyched to see what this will turn into. And if we already did this awesome Forbidden Door, dude, what if we did a Forbidden Universe?
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Yep.
Dude, how awesome would that be?
That would be
Like,
really good.
bro, do this big ass invitational. You bring your tag team, I'll bring my tag team, and back, uh, not to like date myself, but way back, Jerry Lawler, Kerry Von Erich, they went against each other, and they were gonna have this super card number 3, and Kerry Von Erich got so busted up, they had to stop the match. Kerry Von Erich was supposed to win the title. He was so busted up, the ref was like, "Hey, it's not safe." They didn't figure out a safe finish. Jerry Lawler left with the title. He never gave the title back to Vern Gagne, because Vern Gagne never paid Jerry Lawler. And obviously, politically, you'd have to come up with some kind of agreement. Who's going to get what title? We're going to have to 50-50 book. Your tag team's going to win. My singles guy, I'll get the secondary title. Maybe you just come up with all new titles like they did when Braun Strowman won the greatest
Oh yeah, the greatest Royal Rumble. Yeah.
greatest battle royal of all
Yeah,
time.
Battle Royal. That's what it was.
And the UFC did the Supercard titles, and Dan Severn competed, Ken Shamrock competed, and there's got to be a way, you know what I mean? And I don't want it to be like the Super Bowl, but when with Major League Baseball, they started doing those rivalries, and you had the Subway Series where the Yankees and the Mets played. You could do something like that, and everybody gets a gold bat or silver bat or whatever. And man, that would just be so awesome. Like some championships are played on neutral territory. It wouldn't be in WWE territory. They do a lot of stuff along the East Coast. Jacksonville is AEW country. Chicago has lately been locked down as AEW country. Maybe they do something. We know some people that have some interest in San Antonio area. Maybe they could do something there. I don't know. But shit, dude, wrestling right now is so freaking cool, and I'm so proud of everyone who's doing their thing and getting their grind. And I just, yeah. So again, back to your original question, the Jackson brothers, they they freaking nailed it. If we're grading this on beards, that promo, 5 beards. That show had it all. It was legit, dude. 4.5 beards. It could have been 5, but there was some wonkiness with the tag team match with the best friends. That kind of set me. I was like, what's happening here? This feels like, all right, well, the match is over. Okay. But all
So,
in all, man, I
speaking of
love
tag
that
team, real
promo.
quick,
Shit.
just something on the Sting thing. Do you think Sting and Darby take the tag team championships from Big Bill and Ricky Starks before the pay-per-view, and then the EVPs come in and say, well, we're going after those titles now?
Yeah.
I think so too. And I don't know if does Sting go out on his back or does he go out on a win? So I'm curious on that too. Like, he's old school, so I could see him going out as on his back. You know, I could see him taking the loss because he's old school, and that's what they did in the territories. And so if they're the champions, they then take the
That's
loss.
a good one.
You get the Bucks the titles back, and now the Bucks start working to build the AEW tag team division back up because it's kind of been lacking. So I could see
Okay.
that happening.
I do
Them the
too.
monster heels, and like now FTR's chasing them, and now we get FTR Bucks again in All In. Let's say, which would be really good. But
Yeah.
and that's how I see it playing
Yes,
out.
I
I
do.
see them.
Yeah.
I see them beating Bill and Starks on like Collision or something coming up. Like they'll challenge them, and they'll take it. And then maybe you get, and then you assuming the Chris Jericho stuff, however that works out, because then you've got the Bucks with the titles. Omega gets better and comes back, and they're still at a title shot. So do you get a program with the Bucks and Jericho and Omega, or
Golden
Jericho and
Jets.
Hangman again? Or yeah. I mean, again, depends on all this stuff going on with Jericho right now. I don't want to get into it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I just think there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah, I like where you're going. I like the booking. I think it makes sense because it's good business. You know, I love it even more because you're gonna have Shivani. Hey, Tony, I hope you're feeling a lot better. I know you've been hard down. You're back home.
He looked the
Hydrate.
best he ever has, though, on Dynamite, according to Tony
Yeah.
Storm. that was so good, man. I love that character of hers.
Why is she looking at me? Why?
I'm gonna punch you in the box.
Yeah.
I could not believe she said that.
Dude.
She looked at Donna Peraza. I'm gonna punch you in the box.
So Tiffany cannot stand. Tiffany is Miss Ellie Jarrett. Tiff cannot stand wrestling. I start talking about wrestling, and we've got this thing where I try and talk about wrestling without saying wrestling, right? And so she's sitting there and she's like, "That's so disgusting. They're running around, they're in their underwear. He's got his junk all in his face." I was like, "Babe, quit being a pervert. Quit being a pervert and enjoy the sport." She goes, "This isn't a sport." Ma'am. So we're going through the thing, and dude, when Tony Storm's tits out,
yeah,
chin up, tits out,
out.
watch for the shoe. Tiff goes, "Watch for the shoe." I was like, ah, yes. She bought in. She was emotionally invested, and I did my little victory lap. I was so happy,
Get in that
dude.
ring and punch you in the box.
And
then getting on Luther's shoulders so she didn't have to climb in the ring to be eye to eye. There's some great character work.
Awesome. And I don't know how I don't know how Tony Storm isn't in hysterics while she's doing what she's doing.
Yep.
But even more so to her foils who are sitting there watching this whole thing going around, and Luther's wrestling around trying to get under her skirt and stuff to get her on his shoulders. I'm like, oh my God, what is happening right now? This is awesome.
Ikebani didn't lose it every time she was petting his hair, or talking about how Tony, you've lost, or Mr. Shuvan, you've lost so much weight.
And she's stuffing macaroons in his mouth.
with her character work, the character work of the Young Bucks, or the EVPs, I guess they're going by now, not the Young Bucks anymore. And the Swerve and Hangman, I just got that old school AEW feeling all over again. I really enjoyed it.
Swerve is money, dude. Swerve is money.
Yeah.
If he's not AEW champion for at least a minute this year, AEW failed. And I don't want to see the whole blood spilling thing again with Hangman and Swerve, because that's just not my jam. But I need to see them in a freaking just like some kind of, I don't want to say like loser leave town and now
Like maybe a best
Hangman's
out of
got to
7.
something, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't want to see loser leave town, so Hangman goes to Ring of Honor or whatever. But there is money to be made with those two, and just think, and we were talking about this the other day, like think about not that long ago where we were in Jacksonville, the River City
WrestleCon.
convention, and we were watching all these amazing wrestlers. We got to hang out with the Lucha Superstore out of Chicago. Hope you guys are good. Thanks for the follow, by the way. And damn, like to see him now, just
Yep.
dude, that's so awesome. Shoo,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep. So next thing I want to talk about is the main event. I'm curious what you thought about it. WWE brain or because I want to hear your opinion first, and I'll tell you what I thought. So I have some issues with it.
So I loved. That's a Tommy Dreamer shout out to the boys over there at Busted Open. So I could not get enough of the Muscle Buster from Samoa Joe. And the way he did the Muscle Buster with Hook and how he like sort of released him, so awesome. And Hook being the build that he is and the way he like received the Muscle Buster, I was like, man, this guy is selling, and then he's selling, and then he got on Facebook Marketplace and he sold some more. And then Samoa Joe, how he was like working the crowd and he was, doing the circle around the crowd, around the ring, sorry. And, Chaz, he's like, I got to take my headphones off. I'm sorry, I got to take my headphones off. Like, I was like, yes, this is great. Everybody's buying in. And there was one point where I was like, they're not going to do a squash. There's no way. This dude is 29-1. He's got a great look. Jack Perry now is over in New Japan, and he's like the next young up and coming. He's not one of the pillars, but he's just outside of the pillars kind of thing. I loved it, dude. I thought it was awesome. It was a great title defense, and it gave Samoa Joe an opportunity to really thump on one of the young bloods of AEW. And I think what his title reign is going to be is it's going to be better than the Ochos, because he's going to let the the young wrestlers get their shit in, but he's going to come out the victor and be a very dominating champion. I don't think he'll carry it for a year, but it'll be close. It'll be damn 8 or 9 months. He'll probably lose it.
Really?
At All In. I'm trying to think of who would come back.
Swerve.
Maybe a guy. Oh man, yeah, it would have to be before All In, because.
See, I think he has a short title reign. Maybe not. I don't know. I just could see them doing a triple threat and at Revolution or whatever, and it's Hangman, Swerve, and Joe. Well, I mean, that's another way you could do it, and you could protect Swerve because Hangman takes the pin, and now Swerve is chasing the title. Or do you get Swerve to pin Hangman, and now Joe's chasing Swerve? There's like I don't know what they're gonna do.
God, yeah,
And
there's a lot of
there's a lot of things they
cool
can do.
things you
I
could
agree
do.
with All
Yeah.
In though. I think All In would be a good place for MJF maybe to come back. Maybe MJF shows up at All In, but he's gonna go after the Devil, I would think. So Adam Cole,
Oof. Yeah.
if and when he comes
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. You
But
mentioned Adam Cole in that promo that he cut with Wardlow, and that was really distracting because he's like, and then he's going to be, the AEW World Champion. But I'm like, well, wait a minute. I thought Cole wanted to be the champion, and now,
well, he said it in the
you
first
know,
promo that when Wardlow wins it, as soon as Cole's better, he's just gonna hand it over to him. So and I thought that was, I'm like, they're disrespecting the same way MJF did.
yeah.
But
I mean, this goes back to this was part of the Dark Side of the Ring series. Um, when Jarrett just dropped down and ate the pin, and Hulk, won the title because that's what Bischoff wanted to do,
yep,
and now you've got you know yeah, I don't, yeah, because it's going to be weird because Killshot eventually is going to Killswitch is eventually going to lose it and turn on Christian,
yep.
and hopefully he changes his mask. I can't stand those horns, but um, yeah, that's super interesting. What did you think though? Like with Hook
For
and
the main event.
Samoa Joe, yeah,
So I liked it. I thought it was. I think so. Samoa Joe went over, but I think Hook got over. But I don't think
oh
he
hell
got
yeah,
over as much as they could have. I think they could have done some other things. But I almost think it hurt Joe a little bit because, or maybe not hurt Joe. I don't know. I had a real issue with the kick out at 1 after the Muscle Buster
yeah,
when he flipping took his head off on that table shot when he
yeah,
did that rock bottom on the table. Then he power bombs him on the apron. Then he Death Valley drives him. Then he gives him a muscle and he kicks out at 1. I had a kind of an issue with that because I felt like it just made Hook look too strong. I thought he got up way too fast after the chokehold at the end. I thought he kind of got up and no-sold that. It'd have been better off if he kind of did the whole, like, I didn't pass out, like, fight the referee thing that they've done in the past. And then he got up way too quick after the second muscle buster. So I thought, like, none of that to me made Hook any stronger going out of this. I think if he'd have taken the muscle buster and won 2.99, got his shoulder up, maybe a little better. I just thought the one kick out on the muscle buster, it really bothered me. I'd like to see Hook disappear for a while now and maybe go to New Japan or go somewhere and earn some, because he's still green and some of his greenness kind of showed. That being said, he took some bumps that blew my mind. Like there were some bumps that he took that were just off the chain. But I'd like to see him, go and just kind of relax a little and maybe kind of like Yuta did a year or two ago where he went and did the G1. He came back as this amazing wrestler. I think Hook could benefit for something like that. But that was a complaint. I thought the match was great. I thought it went the way it should have been. It should have been a kind of a squash / babyface trying to get up. But I never saw Hook as a real threat to Samoa Joe. Obviously, the real threat's going to be Hangman or Swerve or both, depending. So, but that was my issue. I really had a problem with the end. And then same thing when Joe got back in the ring, I was half expecting Taz to roll in and get between the two. Because that's his boy. Like, you're not going to want to see that. And the fact that Hangman made the save instead of Taz, I was a little disappointed in that. But overall, I thought it was a great. I mean, I watched it the first time too because I always watch it once and then watch it a second time. I watched it the first time too and was like, man, this is great. And then I start picking it apart, going, but he kicked out at 1, and then but why his dad's sitting right there? Why wouldn't he get in and defend him? And I know there's probably some, with Taz's issues, he couldn't take a bump or none of that, but that's fine. But Joe and him grew up, he's a prodigy of Taz, so you'd think he'd I don't know. Those are the minor things, but overall, I agree. I thought the show was one of the better Dynamites I've seen in a while. Had the trifecta of the storyline movements, the backstage interviews, the promos, and then some really good matches. So I really enjoyed it. I think,
I got 2 words for you. I might be a little bit guns up, and Jay White and the Bang Bang Gang picking up the 6-man tag team title, 6-man championships, and they're partnering loosely with the Acclaim, and eventually there's something gonna happen, and if they merge the titles, I'm just gonna be like, dude, why did you buy Ring of Honor and go through the whole thing of presenting the new titles? Speaking of presenting titles, those TNA titles, shoo! But why would you go through this whole thing and not really push the whole thing? And like we were lucky to be able to hang out there in Daly's place and catch some of the matches that will eventually be on Ring of Honor. And the action in the ring, and I'm just blown away. You've got an awesome women's division. I'm a huge Athena fan. We were talking about that all night. I love Valkyrie and some of the work that she's doing over there in Ring of Honor. The tag team division, very, very strong. Obviously the infantry is getting stronger every match. Great cohesive behavior and implicit communication with the way they move in the ring. I really want to see Ring of Honor. I don't want to see AEW lose an hour of TV, but what the hell, man? Give Friday night to Ring of Honor, the Ring of Honor Rampage, or Ring of Honor, something, maybe 2 hours on Friday night, and just and because now having to have the pay service to catch a show that's kind of indie-esque, indie-rific, may not be a jam for everybody. And, I'm sure not everyone has the New Japan World subscription. And I've had it for, I don't know how long. I think I've had it for about a year. And I only started really, really watching it about 2 months ago. And the app is so much better. The matches, the user experience, the access to everything that they've got going on, and New Japan Strong doing so many North American shows there's just so much going on. All the title changes and the changes within the leadership. They have a new president over there in New Japan, but I really appreciate the way AEW is running their programs. They've got great, Monday or Wednesday night, Friday night, Saturday night, great shows, so much better every time. They're protecting the referees. They're doing a lot of tag team stuff, and their use of social media, like
stir the pot.
Dude, yeah, it's so freaking awesome. And so everybody who's sitting there going, "Oh, I'm an AEW guy, I'm a WWE guy, I'm a whatever guy or girl," you just give it a chance. And if you're like, "Oh, I don't like this commentator, I don't like that commentator," turn the freaking sound off, play some of your favorite jams, or whatever. Just watch the action. I watch a lot of AAA and CMLL, and all the commentary is in Spanish. No, I speak little to no Spanish, but I can watch it and understand it, and then I can go back and look, whoever they put on the screen, and I can look and go, "Oh, damn, this guy or this girl is whoever." I see Sexy Star, who was on Lucha Underground, pop up on CMLL.
There it is, the
I'm
Lucha
like,
Underground.
holy cow, gotta squeeze it in. And man, I'm super excited. And
Awesome.
speaking of Lucha Underground, the presentation of said Gift of Gods will be very, very soon. They will be completed on Wednesday of next week
Nice.
and dropped in the mail. So super excited. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, our 2024 belt's coming out.
Whew.
Well, let us know what you all think about Dynamite. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Leave a comment below. If you think we're full of crap and don't agree with us, leave that comment too. We don't mind. But we want you to like, share, subscribe, help us keep growing this little thing that he and I started thinking it was going to be nothing into what we're doing. So please like, share, subscribe on YouTube. If you want to listen to the podcast, we're wherever you get your podcasts in audio form at Apple, YouTube Music, wherever it is. Check us out. And again, subscribe there too. You can get both versions. And that's all I got right now. I was going to announce Patreon, but I want to make sure we got it up and running before I do. So like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Please, please, please. If you like us, suggest us to your friends, all that good stuff. And let's continue to grow. And with that, it's the hot tag out.
Bump and feed, bump and feed. Absolutely, man. Again, Jay Tilly, I can't tell you enough. How jacked I am to have you as a tag team partner and all the work that you do behind the scenes, along with Tony and the production team, and everything that's going on. I really appreciate it. To all of our fans that drop those super cool comments about changing our backgrounds and doing stuff, it's in the works. It's in the works. I've got stuff on order. It's coming in. It takes a minute. This little upstart company out of Seattle uh, started in this dude's garage. He can only ship stuff so fast. So as soon as it gets to me, I will put it together and get it behind here. Until then, I really, really appreciate it. All the
One thing.
follows and everything, just
Yep.
so fucking cool. Yeah.
I got to hit one thing before you hit your tagline. Check us out, specifically me and my daughter, on ThunderRose's channel. Her latest vlog. We had the opportunity and the honor to pick her up at the airport, and she kind of did a quick interview with us. Really cool. Shout out to Thunder Rosa, a friend of the channel's. For those of you that, when I say that, kind of roll your eyes, no, like legit, she's a friend of the channel. Like
Yep.
we, like I said, picked her up at the airport. So I just wanted to shout that out and go over and check out Thunder Rosa's YouTube channel and that vlog. And Thunder Nights is back, her podcast too. So, all right, now you can hit your tagline.
Yeah, Thunder Nights, that's some freaking funny stuff. Her vlog, she's got a taco vlog. She sort of danced around. Someone tried to get her talking about grilled cheese or something, and she went right back to the taco vlog. So, no, that's cool. Shout out to her and coming back, looking great. Her gear was phenomenal, and great to see her back in the ring. So again, on behalf of Jay Tilly, I'm Ellie Jair. Thanks for joining us here in the No Shade Man Cave. And because of that, bump and feed to our brothers and sisters in arms. Thank you so much for what you do to protect this great country of ours. I appreciate my freedom, and thank you for what you do. To everyone who's dealing with any kind of mental distress, please get help wherever you can. And if you're in distress, please dial 988, and there will be someone ready, willing, and able to take care of whatever distress needs that you are dealing with. If you're a veteran, please va.gov, or if you have My Healthy Vet app, hit that red banner. It takes less than a second to have someone there. You are not alone. Trust me, you are not alone. And please do not make a rash decision. You are loved and you are needed. So until next time, friends, fam, thanks for joining us here in the No Shade Man Cave. Again, I'm Ellie Jair, Jay Tilly, my tag team partner. And thanks for joining us here. And I can't wait to see you again. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you on the floor.